Matter of fact, I know. To the top is where we going, all my bitches. Hey! See, that's the shit that I be hating, so I say indoors. Unless there's money on the line, and then I've been in corners. Skirt. Said you getting cream, but shit to me it look like sherbet. Sweeter than a mother with a short skirt. I'm just trying to make it out the dirt. So y'all can keep your 2 cents when the table starts to turn for me like servants. I can't reverse. I can't double back, they try to play me. I remember that. Mama, I would watch them scrolling by me and I double tap. Now they sharing stories, telling tales. This shit is super whack. They try to make it harder for a new jack. Look who's back. It's payback. Success is like the greatest revenge. And if you ever switched on me, I don't want to be friends. I mean, really, why even pretend? Nothing really makes sense unless it's billionaire talking the fence. When you're into it, swear they want to see you die. It's crazy how some paper make you want to take a life. I'ma get this money and I pray I'll be alright. Don't know where I'm going, but I know that I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm good enough for sure, cause I got God with me. Whoever stuck with me, they going to the top with me. I'm just trying to buy my family some property. Get this money, stack my paper, do it properly. Yeah, the story goes on. I'm still writing my wrongs. I'm still fighting my demons. I'm still trying to be strong. Hearing shit in my head. Thinking God every breath. Haters praying I fail. I still wish them the best. I'm still getting to the bag. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm still killing everything. It's nothing more to confess. And if you talking money, niggas, say that shit with your chest. Shit, if we talking money, nigga, I can talk you to death. Yeah, I'm good with all my nouns and verbs. Grandma always told me watch and never say a word. Just sit and observe. I'm underrated, so I've overheard. These motherfuckers got a lot of nerve. I just sip from the bird. Cause truthfully and honestly, I do not give a fuck. I gotta do this live over. Cause they gon' always ride your wave when your chickens up. My niggas shoot, your niggas dip and duck. When you go to it, swear they wanna see you die. It's crazy how some paper make you wanna take a life. I'ma get this money and I pray I'll be alright. Don't know where I'm going, but I know that I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm good enough for sure, cause I got God with me. Whoever stuck with me, they going to the top with me. I'm just trying to buy my family some property. Get this money, stack my paper, do it properly. Cause when you get into it, swear they wanna see you die. It's crazy how some paper make you wanna take a life. I'ma get this money and I pray I'll be alright. Don't know where I'm going, but I know that I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm good enough for sure, cause I got God with me. Whoever stuck with me, they going to the top with me. I'm just trying to buy my family some property. Get this money, stack my paper, do it properly. Yeah, I know that I'ma need a glove. Can't really have it on the line. I'm just trying to get my family out this broken life. I'm just trying to get my family out this broken life. Yeah, hey. I'm just trying to get my family out this broken life. Oh! You know, this is frustrating. Let's do it. I don't even fucking know. There you go. There you go. Let's see if we can do it this way. Matter of fact, I know. To the top is where we going, all my bitches know it. When I get rich, they gonna talk about when I was poor. See, that's the shit that I be hating, so I say indoors. Unless there's money on the line, and then I've been in corners. Said you getting cream, but shit to me it look like sherbet. Sweeter than a mother with a short skirt. We have these. Trying to make it out the dirt. So y'all can keep your 2 cents when the table starts to turn for me like servants. I can't reverse. I can't double back. We have these. I remember that. Mama, I would watch them scrolling by me and I double tap. Now they share a story, telling tales. We have these moments. I love it. Let's chat. I don't want to be friends. I mean, really, why even pretend? Nothing makes sense. I love it. It's crazy how some people make you want to take a life. I'ma get this money and I pray I'll be alright. Don't know where I'm going, but I know that I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm good enough for sure, cause I got God with me. I love this one, girl. I know her pop. I'm just trying to buy my family some property. Get this money, stack my paper, do it properly. Yeah, the story goes on. I'm still writing my wrongs. I'm still fighting my demons. I'm still trying to be strong. Hearing shit in my head. Thanking God every breath. Haters praying I fail. I still wish them the best. I still getting to the bag. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm still killing everything. It's nothing more to confess. And if you talking money, niggas say that shit with your chest. Shit, if we talking money, nigga, I could talk you to death. Yeah, I'm good with all my nouns and verbs. Grandma always told me watch and never say a word. Just didn't observe. I'm underrated, so I've overheard. I'm gonna get this. Hey, let me play something else. Let me play something else. It's crazy how some paper make you want to take a life. I make it this money and I pray I'll be alright. Don't know where I'm going, but I know that I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm good enough for sure, cause I got God with me. Stuck with me, they going to. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. All right. Set that. Photo. That. Back to the beginning. My money up front. You can't hold nothing. Used to have a heart, yeah, but now I got a cold one. Stop asking me questions about these niggas. I don't know them. Lost in my bosses and bosses and lost in it. I've been getting out of mud since I was a kid. Doing for the real ones, doing the pig. Doing for the mothers who got to take them kids. I remember all the times in the hood, really had to struggle. Barely caught a break, blowing up now. Hella niggas going crazy back then. I barely got a hay, got so many options, niggas begging me to stay. But the money is the focus, I ain't going back broke. Kick me in the face on your way up, cool. When you coming back down, I ain't showing you the ropes, nigga. Fuck, hit the whole team, but he do, nigga. Cough. Ain't no handouts, all this shit off the muscle. They can take everything from me, the money, the fame, the clothes, but never his hustle. I would die by my respect. They keep on saying I'm next. Long as I'm making this music, I will remain one of the best. Never in chill mode. Snakes and rats, we gon' kill those. Let's see. I did it. I'm over on Patreon again. Listen, this is Amaretta. Greetings. Money out front. You can't hold nothing. I love Amaretta. She's from from Atlanta. She's really cool. You know, I don't know her personally, but I've been following her. I love her story and stuff. I didn't put my glasses on. So, hey, everyone. I got a conversation for y'all. First of all, I got a few things that happened. So, you know, of course, I wanna make sure that, you know, we have this full conversation. Now, YouTube, you're only gonna have a little bit. Patreon's gonna get all the meat and potatoes, but I'm gonna make sure my YouTube gets something. You get a little something. But Patreon, you're gonna get all that, and it's live. It's on Crowdcast right now, so you can put it on Patreon. But all Patreon villagers can get it. So shout out to the young lady that hit me up, that told me, you know, gave me some good ideas. I love it. I love learning. But definitely, I'm live on Crowdcast, you know. But okay. You know, I love that. Stop asking me about these niggas. I don't know nothing. Hey. She said, I've been getting it out of the mud since I was a kid. What? What? First of all, welcome to YouTube land. All of y'all out there, welcome over here in Patreon, right? So like I said, YouTube, you're going to get some, but Patreon's going to get all the meat and potatoes. First off, I told y'all that people had attitudes and people was in their feelings or whatever. So I had to go and run some errands, right? So while I was running errands, I had to get in the Uber and stuff like that. And I had to go first to Staples. Staples need to work on their employees.
for real. But I already knew the vibe. Remember, I pulled the cards. I did the weekly reading, right? So I already knew the vibe. I already knew the vibe. So I was like, listen, can I get 2 sets of copies of this, this book, front and back? But if you can't do back, it's okay. We can do front. He said, you can go over there to the machine and catch the shade. You can go over there to the machine and it'll be like 23 cents a copy. Or I can do it and it'd be $100. $100 for what? What we copying? What are we copying? No, real talk. I was like, excuse me, sir. How you doing? Hi. How you doing? Welcome to the planet. $100. What are we copying? Oh, well, if I have to do it, I have to make, no lie, I have to make a stenograph of it and I have to download it. No. I'm not telling you to create anything. Hi, time out. Okay, head wrap, don't mean stupid. No disrespect. Time out. Hi, how you doing? All I need you to do is put it in the machine. It runs through, copy. Copies come out at the bottom. Original is at the top. How much is that? If I do it, it's $100 because I'm doing it. And if you come and pick it up tomorrow, it's $79 to make copies. So how much is the machine over there? Yeah, that's 23 cents. Thank you. So I go over there, right? So I'm asking him, how do you work this? I can't do it, ma'am. Oh, okay. So it was this old white woman. Tell you I can't make it up. She said he didn't help me neither. Because first I was ready to, do the racist card, but then I said no. I already pulled cards, so I already know people in their feelings. People are whatever they're going through. Don't have shit to do with me, right? Staples, horrible in Hartford. No lie, the copy section, horrible. But anyway, I'm sitting there. I said, "You okay?" She said, "I paid. They didn't even give me what I needed. All I wanted was a copy." So I knew then. Spirit was like, "All right, let me, cause you might tear this whole fucking thing up. So let's." I said, "Okay." So I put in 21, right, copies, because I was talking to the lady trying to help her. So I did 21, and that shit came to 4,000. I said, "Oh wait, I only need 2 copies." Boop boop, changed it. Bow. She was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So she hands me a card. She was like, thank you. If you have any youth or whatever, tell them about Jesus. And I was like, oh, thank you. Okay. Thank you. Come through, Jesus and the white lady. Cause you good. Cause these machines would be broke. Like, no, you didn't even get your service. You didn't even get your money. You ain't getting none of that. So I said, okay. So now while I was in the printing phase, and here's the reason why I'm sharing this. While I was in the printing phase, the machine stopped. Hey, Gustin. Hey, she said call a service agent. Now, the front desk, I don't know if y'all ever been to Staples, but Staples is broken up, right? You have the floor people. So he must have thought head wrap, black lady, she don't know. No, you have the floor people, you have the clerks on the other side, and you have the copy, the photo. Then you have the office people and the text, right? You have the text. Because now they're like Best Buy. You got the Geek Squad in there as well, but they're just called office text, right? And they do your companies and all of that. I like going legit. So when people pull you on the carpet and they want to come after you or do something, you already have your thing, right? So I'm like, excuse me. The machine that said call an agent. So you know that I'm gonna call him the $100 guy, right? 99, $100. The $100 guy turned, the other dude was like, I got you, ma'am. I said, thank you. So he came, he put paper in, and he was like, oh no, the machine has just ran out of paper. He said, you got everything? I said, yes, by all means, thank you. Thank you so much. Right? So he's standing there. So I'm doing it. Now I need a mouse, for my laptop, right? So I'm like, okay, all right. So I get all of that, got my 2 copies, I separated them. I said, okay, right? Because the machine didn't do back and front, right? So that catch the gimmick. They want you to go over there and use the machine 23 cents, but you're only doing one side. If they have to do it back and front, He's charging 100. I even asked the dude how much he charged because I didn't want to get into that debate. I was like, no, no, no. I listen, 23 cents saves me. I'm not doing no 100. Who? And you got to make a stenogram and a graphic. Babes, all I need you to do is put it in the machine, copy it, and give it back. That's it. Oh, it's going to take an hour. What? You just stick it in the machine. It's not even an hour. You want me to be standing here for 30 minutes. Like, are you serious? So when it was time for me to check out, the guy said, "Do you have a membership here? Do you have?" I said, "I have an account here." He said, "Oh, for real?" So I gave him my account number. He said, "Oh, Love Supplies Botanica." So now the dude walks around. He comes over. He was like, I could have copied it. It would have been. Mm. Got my stuff. Told the young man that was behind the counter, thank you, because he was talking about his daughter, which I don't understand, but people always tell me about their business. He was talking about his daughter. He was like, yo, you look just like my daughter. So I'm looking at this white guy, like no shade. And I'm like, okay. And he pulls out and she has this head wrap, this beautiful gay lay on. She has all this hair. She's so beautiful. And he was like, yeah, this is my daughter. This is my baby girl. He was like, you look like her. And I was like, oh, thank you. Oh my gosh. So he was really nice. The other dude was nice. But the 99, the $100 guy was like, and in my head, I'm sitting there like, I don't know who fucking light bill you thought I was paying, or trying to get you your cell phone paid or something like that. But boo boo, you might got the little old white lady because she, was over there, praying to Jesus. But I'm not gonna fuck with an elder. You sitting here messing with this senior citizen. She close to God and hear the prayers more, baby. You ready to have? You think you lost $100? You ready to lose more? If I come back there and he is fired, I'm putting that on live. Like, where the $100 guy? Oh, he no longer works here. And don't stand in God's way. How you doing? How you doing? Like, it would have been so easy, ma'am. We charge a fee. Like, break it down for me. But if I do it, I have to do the graphics. What graphics? You're not doing no graphics. You're putting paper in the machine. Now, catch the shade. I'm already a little pissed, but I'm not pissed. So now I have to go to the post office. I got to mail this off, run to the store. Like, okay. I have a love for Brazil. I was going to go before my pops passed. And even after he passed, I had, some other things that I had to take care of in New York. And then I got crowned. So I couldn't go to Brazil. But that was my place to go. So who pulls up in my Uber driver? We're talking. The dude was like, "Oh, your name is so beautiful." And I was like, "Okay, it's just Donna." He was like, "No," and the way he pronounced it was so beautiful. And I was like, "Wait, where you from?" And he was like, "Brazil." And I was like, "Oh." He was like, "No, I'm going over there next month. Me, my daughter, my wife, my two kids, because his son is graduating." And I was like, "Oh," he's like, "No, I'm from Brazil." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So now we're talking about Brazil. And it put me in a whole new different mode, like for real, not even gonna front, put me in a whole different mode. And I'm like, wow. And I said, well, when you go over there, can you do me a favor? I said, not even a favor. If you think about it, can you bring money back? Like, I'll pay you. I said, what's the difference? He said, for $1, $1 American is $5 for Brazil. And I'm like, for real? It's like, oh my goodness. I said, now I'm going. I said, well, due to COVID and things like that, I'm not going just now. But, that's definitely on the bucket list. Like, I was so close there. I have my visa now. I got to go and get renewed. I was like, but definitely I'm going Capoeira. But what was so amazing? All I had was my head wrap. I had a coat on, so you couldn't see my bracelets. I don't wear my beads, like I should. I should wear, and I will make a commitment on 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 wearing my peonies, because I do need to wear them. So I'm like, excuse me, I'm sorry, somebody's calling me, and I'm like, why are they calling me? So anyway, so you couldn't see, if I was initiated or anything. He said, next month when I'm down there, it is the biggest event that's happening. I'm like, now I know it's Yemaya no Shun's feast in Brazil. They do it every year, January, February. And he was like, yeah, it's the biggest feast. He said, we'll be down there. He said, where do you want to go when you do go to Brazil, if you don't mind me asking? I said, Bahia. He was like, like he's in the car and he's riding now. He's looking at me like, okay. He said, everyone I speak to and I let them know I'm from Brazil, they always say Rio de Janeiro, right? And he was like, everywhere, everybody I speak to, they always say Rio, I'm going to Rio de Janeiro. He said, but you said Bahia. I said, yeah. He said, mm, mm. He said, so I said, no, the feast is for Yemaya and Oshun. He said, ah. So I'm like, okay, all right. So we're driving and he's looking in his car and he said, oh, he said, it was another guy in my car and we was talking about Brazil. He said, and I gifted him the money so he'll always have a piece of Brazil. He said, because I was looking for it to give it to you. And I was like, no, when it's time, I get it. And we was talking about soccer, we was talking about the different things of Brazil. And he was like, well, why do you love it? And I said, since I was a little girl, like I was in sixth grade and my teacher was Dr. Faust, Mr. Faust, and in sixth grade. And we had to do a piece on, different parts of the world. I just saw a picture of people in Brazil and it was so colorful. It was just this picture was so colorful, so beautiful that I did a whole report on Brazil. Now, this is where my first time I ever got in trouble. I found out what plagiarism was, and I had to use my own voice because all I did was write word for word what was in the book, and I put it on the paper, knowing it's my teacher's book. So he said, "I'm going to give you an F, but I'm also going to give you another chance to do it over." I said, "What?" He said, "Because all you did was copy word for word of what you wrote." He said, "And I know you didn't even read it because look." He said, so I'm going to give you a chance to do it over. And then I based the grade on that. And then he told me about plagiarism and how, people it's against the law and things like that. And that I should use my own voice. Feel, why do I pick this place? Because everybody else was picking Europe and all that. I just picked Brazil. I was the only one in the class that picked Brazil. So I was like, it's just something about it. Now, screwed up. Now I'm a grown up. My kids are grown. I got grandbabies. So I made it's not a pack, like I dedicated a year of my life to Obatala, saying if he helped me to get crowned, that I will wear white. That means I sleep in white, I get up in white, I dress in white. For a whole year when I was in Atlanta, I wore white. The wintertime, the summertime, through the whole year. That's all I wore was white. Head wrap. Head wrap was always big and fluffy. And, I had my white on, white skirts, white dresses, everything white, white shoes, white. So everywhere I would go downtown, they would pull over and they would say, oh my God, where are you from? And I'd be like, here. And they'd be like, no, you from Brazil. You from Bahia? And I was like, no. And then I met Iyawojourney, I met Buatra, I met all of them. And they would go over to Brazil to do, it's on the tip of my tongue, capoeira, right? And they would dance, it's Brazilian fighting. So they would go over there to compete and they would come back over here. So when Buatrin was like, yo, you look like the women from Brazil, like you look like them. So he was showing me pictures and they had the big head wraps, they had the big skirts, and at first I was like, cause I'm fat. And he was like, no, like, yo, you look like you're from Brazil. Like you should go over there. But everywhere I went. And then you have to sign up for a visa. So I had put, I didn't even send it. I was writing. Tell you how spirit worked. I was writing because you have to email them. I was in Atlanta, you had to email the consulate. And I had wrote, I'm requesting a passport to Brazil. But I spelled Brazil Brazil. Right when I was getting ready to send it off, this guy came in, these two guys, and they were beautiful. Oh my God, their skin, everything. And we was talking and stuff, and they were from Brazil. They was from Bahia. And I was like, oh my God, I'm writing right now to the consulate to, get an appointment so I can get a passport. He said, how did you spell Brazil? I said, Brazil. He said, no, you'll never get an answer. I said, what? He said, it won't answer you. He said, Brazil is spelled with an S, not a Z. He said, and when you do it like that, we feel very offended. I said, oh, for real? So I went back, I deleted it, and I spelled it right. And he said, when you do it like that, and we know you're American, he said, watch, you're going to get a reply. I said, yeah, they said 24 hours. I tell you no lie, it wasn't even 30 minutes. I had to go the next day, $95, 10-year visa. And when I went down there, right, I took a picture. I went down there, I had this colorful skirt on, and I had this red top, right? A red top. I had this colorful skirt on. I missed my skirt so much. I had this colorful skirt on. It started with jeans, and in the middle was all these beautiful colors: red, yellow, green, and it was like just popping. You know, each color complemented the next color, right? I don't even know where I got that material from. So I had that, and I had my locks out, right? But I had material to go around it, but you just saw my locks. And when I walked in, the guy was like, "You going home?" I said, "No, I'm going. I would like to go, see Brazil." And he was like, "You're not from there?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "I'm from here." And he was like, 10 years vow granted. But I never had a chance to go. Like, and I was telling the guy, I said, listen, on some real, if I get over there and I love it to where it is drawn to me the way I'm feeling drawn like now, I said, I won't come back. He said, my mother-in-law did that. I said, no, for real. If I get over there and the love and the drawing that I have, I said, the only way I'm coming back is to get my saints and I'm going back to Brazil. Like, I wouldn't come back. I would live there. And he was like, no, my mother-in-law did the same thing. He said, my mother-in-law went over there. She was like, no snow, no, none of that. He said, and she lives there. He said, she's in the house. She lives there. And she's like, okay, she learned Portuguese and she lives there. And I was like, I know that feeling because I did it when I went to Atlanta. When I went to Atlanta, I said, listen, if this is how I feel, I'm not coming back. I was down there for 20 years. 20 years I lived in Atlanta. So, I mean, I'm no stranger to that, So I was like, hey, I won't be back. He said, what would you do? Sell tomatoes on the side of the road. Who cares? I said, I'll make a way. It doesn't matter to me. I will make a way. But anyway, so that was really cool. So that kind of changed the mood. So then I came, finally got home. Finally. But before I got home, this is where I said, y'all knew, Spirit knew, Bobo Egu knew. Let's let her know that. So I'm in Hannaford, which is our supermarket. It's the equivalent of, if you live in the South, Publix. If you live in New York, it's Shoppers Shop Right or Shoppers Right or whatever. Or Whole Foods, right? It's slash being in Shop Right and Whole Foods mixed together, right? So I'm in there. So I was like, let me grab some oranges. And everybody asked me the same thing. You being the daughter of Oshun, you can eat oranges. She didn't take oranges away from me. She didn't even take shrimp away from me. So, hey. But anyway, so I'm in there, right? Now, there's a there's a rule that you have to wear your mask, right? Now, up here, they can't enforce it. They can tell you, but they can't beat you up. They can't curse you out. They can't tell you, you have to wear a mask. It's. So the security guard is standing there, and the girl, a Karen, right? A Karen, she's like, ma'am, do you want a mask? No, it's a conspiracy. That disease doesn't exist. I wish y'all people get a fucking education. And she goes in the store. So I look at her and I said, you have to put up with that? She was like, they can be COVID, they can have all that, and there's nothing we can say. Like, I was like, wow. So every time I saw an aisle, I go around. Like, bitch, I don't know what you got. I'm not trying to get sick at all. You a Karen. Like, nah. Mm-mm. And my phone ain't fully charged, so I don't need to be on somebody's YouTube half of a story. No, no, no. So okay, so now I got my stuff. We online. So it was this lady with her mom and her kids, right? It was a Karen. It was me. It was a guy and it was another lady. So the lady with her kids and her mom, right? They did their stuff and they left. This Karen, tell you no lie, put her stuff on the belt and sat in the chair for like 15 minutes, just sitting there. The cashier is like, man, whenever you're ready. She knew we was behind her. She just wanted, and I'm sitting here like she peeped this because she wanted someone or she needed something, whatever she was going through. And I said, oh, not today. So I started singing. I did. I started singing. Right. So then the cashier waited. She said, ma'am, the amount is $11.16. She went in her bag and pulled out one item at a time. And then she finally got to the money and she's sitting there counting it. Now, mind you, she's not a dolphin, she's not a drug, she's not on that. She's just, but no one gave her what she wanted. We was just sitting there. I was singing. The other man was reading a news magazine. The other lady was standing there, So nobody didn't complain. Lines were still busy, so nobody didn't complain. We okay, So now I'm singing, right? I wasn't singing loud. I was singing, right? Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. So as I started singing, I guess everybody else was humming to the part, and people were looking and they was bouncing too. And we didn't care. We did not care. No fucks given. Finally, once the lady said, she said, the cashier said, and she was so sweet. She said, "Do you want me to bag this for you?" She looking at the lady. Now, mind you, the cashier's black. She's Karen. The lady that was holding up the line, she's a Karen, right? The cashier is like, "Do you want me?" She still kept her composure. She said, "Do you want me to bag this up for you, ma'am?" She's looking. Yes. She did it. She bagged it up in a paper bag. So now I'm putting my stuff up there on the conveyor belt. She's still standing there. So now the lady done rung up my stuff. I said, no, 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 I have a bag. So I gave her the bag. I tell you no lie, I can't make this up. She still stood there for another 5 minutes. I didn't care at all. The dude behind me, the lady, like we just didn't care. Like, you didn't have a mask on. You didn't have none of this. Another Karen now. You ain't got no mask on. We don't know if you want to cough on us. Like whatever. We all masked up and stuff. So we just left her. So finally, she moves out the way. So the lady gets my bag. She puts it there. I grab it. I put it in there, and I tell her, I say, "God bless you." And she said, "Well," I said, "No, you have patience. You have patience beyond." I said, "God bless you." I said, "For real, God bless you." I said, "You're gonna get blessed. Trust me, you're gonna get blessed." I said, "For real, because you didn't allow this." And she was like, she said, "I always get these people in here." Well, now I'm looking. You know how the covers are off. I'm looking, and I'm like, she's the only black cashier. Everybody else is white. Oh, okay, all right. Okay, I catch you. I catch you. I catch you hitting motive. Okay, all right. All right, hitting motive. But she kept her composure. She understood the assignment. She did what she was called to do. She didn't call a manager. She just waited. Eventually, you're gonna pay mine. Like, okay. So I was like, yo, even the white guy that was behind me, he told her, he said, "God bless you." He said, "For real." He said, in other words, he made the face like, sometimes my people are fucked up. I turned around and gave him the face like we understood each other. I said, "So am I." Like, we understand. My people fucked up too sometimes. We get it. Because this right here is a young lady working, doing her due diligence of helping and doing all that, putting her fucking family at risk. She's working doing COVID so we can have shit in our house and take care. And you have the audacity to come stand on this line with no mask and take your time and sit here and be arrogant. I said, "Oh," but I pulled the cards. So now I'm waiting for my Uber, because now my day is done. My day is done. And I'm like, let me get home. I said, now let's have this conversation. Because I've been tried and tested today, even earlier. I want to reiterate this before, because we're going to spend some time before I finish it off in Patreon. Orisha doesn't speak through tarot cards. I want to reiterate that. Orisha does not speak through tarot cards. Orisha does not speak through tarot cards. Once again, Orisha does not speak through tarot cards. Doesn't happen. Does not happen. Does not happen. I know, because I'm thinking of before I was initiated, right? So I'm remembering that part. And that's how my day today began, was remembering when I started. Hence why I said back to basic. I was remembering that when I started. When I started, right, I first had to learn who my ancestors were. You can't skip over that part. No, you need to learn who your ancestors are. You need to learn who your ancestors are. Now, sometimes we may think, Grandma loved me. Grandma did so much for me. But it might be Grandpa, it might be Papa, it might be Uncle Rufus that might be helping you get in the blessings. I ain't over there. Now, the surefire way, right, is to have a Misa with good spiritualists, right? Good spiritualists. It's one of the many ways. But that's, to me, from my experience, that is the surefire way. Because it lets you know, and there are different Misas. So the one I'm talking about is like an investigation to see who's where, who wants what, who wants more prayers, who may want an offering, who may want this kind of candle, or maybe some coffee or something like that, right? So so it's different, right? It's different. So you may want to get that investigation. You might want to get that part of knowing who's doing what, right? And who wants what, who requires what, who may want, maybe they want your altar to be on the left side, maybe it needs to be on the right, maybe it needs to be in the bathroom, the kitchen, maybe up in the bedroom, maybe over here in the other bedroom. Some altars also have ones outside. So it's all different, and it's designed for you. Not for you, your homeboy, your homegirl, your best friend, your day one, the person you're sleeping with, your sneaky link. No, it's just for you, right? So, I don't know what is going on here. So anyway, they have, you should, right? Because Mercury is retrograde, right? I wanna make sure I understand that Mercury is retrograde, right? So okay, so stuff is gonna go plooey anyway. But anyway, if you follow that, if you don't follow it, you don't need to add that energy. I do sometimes. Sometimes I do. I ain't even gonna front. So anyway, you want to kind of figure out, uh, who's doing what. So you want to, on some real, get to know who your egos are, get to know your spiritual foundation, build that up. What is it that you need to learn? Do you need to learn more about your grandmama and them? Do you need to learn, or kind of, I don't really go with generational curses, but Some people do, so I'm not going to discredit it. Don't get on my nerves about it. But you know, however you see fit, but definitely learning about your history, who you are, your parents. Now, if you're a foster child, I always say for me, go first deal with the people that raised you as a family. You know what I'm saying? And then later on, you start investigating, learning your birth mother and your birth father and stuff. But for now, just because we have egos that not blood related, but they attach themselves to us because they love us, and maybe they loved us in this life, or they loved the grandmother and made a commitment that I'm gonna always be with you even in the dying day. So it's a plethora of reasons on why. That's fact. So you should learn who your ancestors are. You should learn who your egos are. You should learn spirituality. You should learn about energy, about, manifesting. You should learn about these things, how to take care of it, how to clean it, what goes on to it, all of that. Like that's the basics of learning to give offerings, teaching your children about who mama and papa is, teaching your family, like having gatherings when celebrating mama on them birthdays, celebrating mama on them death day, remembering them on holidays, things like that. So we, right, and when I say we, I mean myself too, right? We sometimes forget that part, right? So we want to jump into the big boys room. So in other words, here I am, 12 years old, right? Because this is how it sounds, and this is how make it seem. I'm 12 years old. I saw a football game and I fell in love. I tried out on the team, but there's no openings. So now I'm getting mad. Fuck that. I'm not gonna wait. So now I'm gonna go over here and finagle myself to play in the NFL. The NFL. I'm going over here. Fuck y'all. I don't need y'all. I'm going over here because they accepted me. Well, you lied on your application. You did some forced paperwork. You said a few things and when you was on the phone, because they don't see you yet. When you was on the phone and you had all these different written documents and all of that. So bow. So now we need to meet you. So meet us on the field. Because we got us a NFL player. But you got the coaches saying, hey, we don't see no tapes. We didn't see no documents. We didn't see anything. Who is this guy? Well, fuck it. Let's bring him on the field. Let's see. 14 years old. I'm on the field with motherfuckers that's 30, 400 pounds solid, in shape. My 14-year-old ass can't even hold a broom correctly. Can't even ejaculate correctly. I'm all fucked up. I don't even know. I don't even know half these players. I ain't even do research on the team. All I know is that I saw a football game and I deserve to play. That's how some of y'all act. So now you on the field. Show us what you got, little lady. Grab the ball. You're grabbing it wrong. Throwing the ball. Toss off wrong. Can't even go nowhere. You don't even have the training to even pass the ball. Now the real part comes. Real football players are on the field. Real spiritualists, real santeros, real paleros, real voodoo priests, real people are on the field. And here your young ass go. Now, most of y'all will do one or two things, right? Most of y'all. I don't care. They jealous of me. They see my power and get your ass slam dunked on the floor, dead to the world. Some of y'all, though, will say, you know what? I'm not ready for this. I need to go back. I'm making myself look like a fucking fool. Let me go back and learn some shit. See, I was the second one. So let me tell you, when I first started out, I had 50 million beads. I had Ogun beads with Shango beads, Cabo Sile, which you should not do. But I had it. I had every lake on. Trust me, I did. I was just getting them. Bow, bow, bow. They for power. I was that. For real. When I didn't know. For power. Spirit talked to me. The Risha talked to me. Everybody talked to me. Right? I go places. Thought I was better. No, for real. When I first started, I was a new fucking fool for real. People would be like, first I had the lickies on my wrist, and this Aluo saw me on the bus, and he said, "Hey, please don't disrespect my religion. Take them off your wrist. If you're gonna wear them on your neck." I said, "Oh, okay." So I took them off. I put them on my neck. Now I was good with listening. So then I'm wearing them on my neck. People touching them. I'm all showing them. Like, you don't know me. Now my number one thing was, I don't need to pay that money to get initiated. What? I'm already initiated. I don't need that. Sounding like a new age fucking fool. Or I'm not listening to people. No, that was me. That was me. A good 13, 14 years ago. That was me. I was fuck that. No, I was working at Jamaica Religious. You thought my shit didn't stink. Oh, now I got a few clients know how to read cards. You can't tell me nothing. When I'm walking down the street, I'm arrogant. First one I met, tell you no lie, was this daughter, or this a daughter of a Legua. And she said, "Are you initiated?" It's the first time I ever heard Beniciana Santo, because I've never heard it. She said, "Are you initiated?" I said, "I don't need to get initiated. I was born into this." She said, "Stop saying that. You're making yourself look like an idiot." And she walked off. True Legua children, they spit it to you and they go on. I ain't got time to debate with you. Because anything after this, I'll fuck around and curse you out. So that's why I love Legua children. Straight and to the point. We ain't got to cut corners. Straight to the point. Let's go. So, and I still see her to this day. And she always laugh and say, "I love your growth." Because she remember. Skip up a few months. I met Jose and he made me read. He said, "Read before you get into this. Just read." And when I started reading and asking questions and learning, I looked at myself, and one day I took all those beads off. I did. I took all those beads off. I said, I must look. And I went and apologized to a few people. Like, I'm sorry for being a new fucking age fool. No, you know? Um, then I met Brother Robert. Brother Robert is crown. He does spiritual Baptist. And he's crowned inlay, right? They call him an elephant in the sand. And he said, "You don't do OB, like you don't read the Odus." And I'm like, "Well, what is that?" Right? So then Angel was representing me. And I asked him. I've always been that one because that's what I read in the books and that's what I, heard from elders. You don't do anything without asking. It's not that they want to be in your business. It's not that they want to um be you know, tailing on you. It's certain things you may not be ready for. Certain conversations you don't need to know. Certain things may not be for you right now. So, Angel said, "Yeah, go learn." I said, "Okay." So it was learning Dilagoon and OB and Odus and 5 minutes African tradition. Like I was reading all these books. And Rob, we was in Starbucks on 71st and Continental, and he's teaching me, how to throw and how to do this and what signals come up and the prayers and who speaks in this, doing stuff. And let me backtrack and let me tell you how I met Rob. I had cut off all my hair. I don't know why. I just cut off all my hair. So I had a shiny bald head, right? And I like to dress comfortable, right? So I always, as long as I look good, I love wearing long skirts to the floor. And I have my, my shirts on. And sometimes I wrap my head, but sometimes I was letting that day I let my bald head show. I got my face beat that day. So I had the eyelashes on, I had the eyebrows on fleek, right? So, and it was in the summer, right? And this guy came in, he brought some stuff, and he said, "You must be new here." I said, "Well, I've been here for like 6 months." Yeah. He said, "Okay." And he walked out. So I'm sitting there, helping people, and I see him walk back and forth in front of the store. So I'm like, and we looking, me and customers, people I'm ringing up, and I'm like, maybe he crazy. And he walked back in, he jumped the line. He said, I don't know why. He said, I don't know why. He said, but he said, but I can't leave here without inviting you. I said, okay. So he wrote down his address. He said, we're having a feast for Shango. Gabo Sile. I said, okay, I can come. I said, can I bring? He said, yeah, you can bring your friends. I said, okay. So I get home, I call my friend, and she was like, okay, let's go. And in the process, we called someone else, right? I call a singer. And we was like, look, y'all don't be scared. We gonna go. Okay. So he had told me at 7. So me, I'm like, well, we should be there like 6:45, 6:50. So we get the address, we park the car, we go out, right? Because he told us to wear red and white. So I already had on a white skirt. All I did was go find a red t-shirt. And my good girlfriend, she had her red and white on, and Singer had her red and white on. So we were like, okay. So we get there and we walked in the back, but nobody was there. So the lady was like, oh, y'all early. You can go in the house. So right when we go in, this lady got touched. She's, so now my friend is like, okay, what the fuck? Because they've never been there. But this was my first time ever seeing this. So I'm like, okay. So we get in and he said, do you mind sitting with my father? He said, while we get prepared. Now, his father, later on, I found out was Papa Nelson, the Caribbean singer. He's Crown Shango Gabosile, like Papa Nelson. So we sitting there, and he said, oh, we got some new people. So I didn't know how to greet a Babalao. I didn't know how they do their elders. This was all new to me. So, but I'm sitting there and I'm like, blessings to you. And my good girlfriend, her friend is like blessings. He was watching the baseball game. He turned the game off and he looked at all 3 of us. And he went to each one of us and told us our story. I can't make this up. Now, while we was in the car, my good girlfriend was like, I'm scared. I never did this, because she's a Christian. And I was like, no, I got you. I wouldn't take you nowhere where it would be dangerous. Like, I'm here with you. We will walk through it. Like, I got you. Singer was just breaking up in her relationship. So she was like, look, I just want to see something new. Like, we didn't even know readings was involved. And I was like, okay. But I had asked while I was in the Botanica, somebody else had came in. And I said, well, what do you bring, Shango? Like Abosile? Like, I don't even know who that is. And what do we, so this person gave me like a quick rundown. And she was like, take apples. So I ran to the supermarket, got all these apples, told them to get some. I said, okay. So we get there, and he first talks to Singer. He said, oh, what's your name? I said, we call her Singer. He said, oh, Singer. Singer broke up with her man. Mind you, he wasn't in the car. He said, Singer say, if you don't treat me right, I don't need to be bothered. So she's sitting there looking like, is this motherfucker in the car? Was he in the car? Hence why Shango Cabo Sile, the great diviner. Excuse me. So then, after he tell her what she needs to do and what she go, he turns to my good girlfriend. He said, you are my family. When you come under this roof, you're my daughter. He said, I would never let nothing happen to you. Our eyes went like this. And I'm sitting there. He turned and looked at me. He looked at his son. He said, she's not yours. He said, oh, but I know you want her, but she's not yours. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. I'm going to be honest. I'm listening to everybody else shit, and I still. So he said, but she's a sister, not a wife. So he takes us in the back. He said, y'all want to see the shrine and see the altar? I'm like, yeah, because I've never seen it. So I grabbed my bag and so we all sitting there. My good girlfriends and them left their stuff in the bag, in the car. I grabbed mine, right? Okay. So he was showing us in each shrine that they had. He had the pool, the waters for Yemaya and for Oshun. Oh my God, it was so beautiful. And each altar that they had built was so beautiful. And I was like, wow. So now we get to Shango, Cabo Sile. And I grabbed my bag and I said, can I give apples? He looked, he was like, okay. So I put the apples down there. And for the life of me, I really did. I prayed from my heart. I said, I don't know who you are, but please accept these apples. And if I'm doing this wrong, please, I'm sorry. And please take these apples, right? And he was, we went on and he showed us, and now we're starting. The drummers was coming. It was getting, so one of the girls got mounted, and my good girlfriend panicked. Like, because it's different when you see it online or you hear about it, but when you see it, it's that energy and everything about it. It's just magical to me. I can't speak for nobody else. So she got nervous. She was like, look, can we go? And I was like, for real? That's when I made the pact where to myself, if I ever go to a drum and I'm staying to the end. If you don't want to go, let me know. Because I'm letting you know from the door. I'm staying till the end to hear my yacht dance out. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I came here not to get a reading, not to, because I love it. I love the songs. I love the drumming. I love the energy. I just love it. And I want to stay. So when it's cleared out, I want to stay. So, but that was my first time. So I had to learn. So we left, right? Before Shango Cabo Sile came down. Rob called me the next morning. I said, hey, he said, where are you at? I said, I'm at the store. He said, I'm on my way. And he came to the store. Can't make this up. He said, why did you leave? I said, well, my girlfriends and them, they never had that. They never seen that. So they were scared and we had to go. And I rode with them. And since I came with them, I didn't want to be disrespectful for I rode. He said, Shango came down, Cabo Sile. He said, and he saw the apples. And he said, where is she? Where's this one that brung this? He said he didn't want to talk to no one else. He wanted to talk to the one that brung these apples. I said, no, I'm sorry. I said, I had to leave. And I felt really bad. And he was like, but he told us, I'll see her again. I'll give her the message. I'll see her again. But he said, yo, he was looking all over, looking for you. He was looking for the ones that brung the apple. He said, what did you pray? I said, I told him that I love him. I don't really know him, but I love him because of this little story that the young lady told me. And that if I'm doing something wrong, I'm sorry, but please take these apples and, blessings to you. Like, instead of me saying, wow, this is what I want, or I'm like, listen, I'm sending the blessings back to you. You were the king. You were the one that passed away. Like, I feel bad for you. Like, I want you to be blessed. Like, I am human. You're the reacher. Like, I didn't know. So he said, wow. And every time he would come up there, and this is how we started, speaking and stuff. And I never saw it as sexual. I met his wife, she's crowned, and it was so amazing. You know what I'm saying? Then he started teaching us little words on how to speak the Yoruba, how to sing the songs, what was the songs meaning, a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I was grateful for that part. So when I had to learn, I had to learn and see that what I was doing then and what, as I started progressing and growing and maturing, right? um, and I have to give thanks to so many people that really, educated me, lashed out at me, like all of it, because I needed that. I needed that conversation because the way I was going, not only, listen, you're spiritual. You don't only carry the weight and the healing and stuff for yourself, but you also for the people that follow you. They're gonna go by your word. That's why I tell people research. Excuse me, research. Research. Just don't take what I say. Research. Research and find for yourself so you can remember this. But you have some people that just don't want to research. They want that clout. They want to know that they are associated with you so they can chase off your tail. They want to know that, I don't have to do the work. They want you to do the work. They the 14-year-olds on the NFL team. I'm not doing anything. I'm not even supposed to be here, but I'm going to fake it until I make it. And then when you do get a certain age, let's just say you turn 21, you don't even want to play football no more. Now you over here planting fucking flowers. And you're like, wait, I thought you wanted to be this big contender. You want to be, no, I'm over here. Like, for real? So there's no race. There's no, I got to be better. There's no, oh, Arisha is in me. For real? I had a girl really get on. I'm Oshun. I said, okay. One thing I don't do is argue with people. I'm telling you, I'm Oshun. Okay, me and my god brother, I'll never forget. It was in my shop. I would keep a pumpkin on by my register. Oh, you got this because Oshun, right? Mm-mm. Nope. What? I know, because I'm Oshun. I ain't got the pumpkin because of Oshun, but okay. I know. I know. So me and my god brother Julio, he was sitting there. He said, "Girl, if I wouldn't sit here with you, I would not believe some of these things that you be saying." He said, "Okay." I guess he wanted to go down the rabbit hole. He was like, "Why are you Oshun?" She said, "Because all the men like me. I love yellow. And look at me. Look at me. Money, all of that. I'm Oshun." I said, "What?" He looked at me. He said, "Sis," I said, "if you don't talk to her, she's gonna leave after a while." Well, why wouldn't you think I'm Oshun? Because I know people are jealous of me. You can be whoever you want, man. Last month I was the Queen of Sheba. You can be whoever you want. I'm not. I'm not here to argue with you. For about 3 days, she would walk by and be like, I'm Oshun," and laugh, and I should be like, "Okay, like you're laughing." So you Oshun, you don't know what happens when Oshun laugh? Like, okay, all right, I'm still here, pulling up stuff. I'm really initiated. So I said, "Oh yeah, you have beads. What's that? You got godparents?" She was like, "Oh, you talk about the people that like when my mother had me and they're gonna watch over me." No, I don't have that. Like, that's why I didn't have a conversation with her. And I have to always remember the stupid shit I used to do. So I have to know patience because I was there, not to that extreme, but I was there. I was there. But I also knew how to go back and right the wrongs. To right the wrongs. Now, did everyone accept it? No. And I didn't expect them to because I knew I fucked up. But I was regurgitating what I was hearing. I wasn't studying for myself. All I did was pick up something what you said and I kept it and started passing it around, not even realizing it was wrong information. It wasn't right. But I'm sitting here spewing it to other people because this person said it because they're popular or they know. Oh, did you do the research? And even in so do, it tells you before you start spewing stuff, research, double check, fact check before you start. I be seeing people post that's crown, that's in, wow, you would think. And I'm like, that don't mean not my duck. Not my duck. It ain't my season to fly. No, no, no. Cause see, you can't question some people. Some people they take, oh, I know. And then even when they do find out, they're not gonna call you and be like, oh, I fucked up, or oh no. No, not all of them. Some of them will, but not all of them. But you have to know on your own. You have to. That's why I says go and sit under a teacher. Go and learn. Learn the correct way. Learn the correct way so when someone calls you on the mat, you know what you're saying and you have the evidence, the Odu to back it up. You have it. Instead of hearing something and just constantly spewing it until somebody that's really knowledgeable come and say, that's not what that means. What? I know. No, I'm gonna show you here. Look, bow. Now what? Well, are you gonna go back to all those people that you spewed that lie to, that you regurgitated this shit and told them? Are you going back to them? We don't. Majority of the times, we don't. We don't fact check. We don't share. We don't be a part. We don't. But I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you one beautiful story. But I'll do it on Patreon. So catch me over there so you can hear a full meat and potatoes of what happened today. Because we don't fact check. We don't pay attention. We don't research. We don't invest in ourselves and educate ourselves. We get on YouTube and we follow all these people knowing. There was a young lady that posted, Oshun doesn't like dark-skinned girls. If you're dark-skinned, she's going to make you suffer for 5 years. Do you know how many people that was on that fucking thread that was like, oh my God, I have to put lightning cream on it. I'm black as shit. I was like, what? But you have people believe that. And you have these young girls altering themselves. It's not only Africans, so don't get it twisted. You got a lot of young black girls bleaching their skin because these fools kept on saying that. Oh, if you're not pretty, you don't have long hair, and you're not light skinned, you can't be children of Oshun. You got to be Yemaya. What? How is that? Oshun don't like dark skinned people. Who told you that? But you go back to the source. 7, 8 years ago, this is when I learned it. 7, 8 years ago was a young girl, right? Dark skinned girl, where she was saying her, she has an affiliation with Oshun, and all these light skinned girls told her that that can't happen in Oshun to make you suffer. So the people that was around her believed it and they started spewing it. So now it got wings and it took off like a lightning bug. Why? So now you have people that, oh no, I can't be Oshun because I'm not light skinned. What's your crown? Oshun, you suffering? No, not at all, honey. My mother loves me. What? So regurgitating, just spitting stuff out without researching, without knowing, without it being fact. Just because you hear it, I need to share it. Now I'm sharing it with all these other people, and now they more confused, just like your ass. Babies, let's go back to basics. Let's start picking up books. Let's start reading. Let's start researching. Let's start doing. And it's okay to share. Shit, I don't know everything. I love to learn. I will roll up my sleeves and be like, okay, look, where's that? Okay. My father's Ogun. I have his book here, the black and red one. I'm reading that. I don't like books that read like you know, instructions, but I'm like, oh, I got to read it because how do I give love and praise to? I feel it. I know who you are, but I need to know who you are. Like I want to know your history. I want to know who you are. I did with my crown. Anybody that say they know Oshun have no idea who Oshun is. That's fact. But I know of the love that she has bestowed on me, the things that she has done in my life. That is what I love. But I had to know her many ways, and I don't have. I didn't even scratch the surface. But the parts that I do see, and that I was privy to see from reading and learning and talking to people, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And I talk to her every day. She's right here. So I talk to her every day. The girl was like, oh, you have a statue? No, I have Oshun. Like, she's right there. No, Oshun is not a statue. I was like, no, babes. She lives in the Sopetta. I was like, no. So come on over. Let's discuss. I love you.